just when his walk around watching these guys drilling, I noticed a few guys doing this. Just be aware of this. He didn't emphasize this enough. So again, Carl has me over his hips. What does he need to do first? Can he initiate it from here? What does he need to do? Exactly. He needs to make my knees lighter. Now he's the hands on the mat. What's the next step? Frames, yes. So we don't want to be using our hands open like this. Okay. If the hands are open, I can drop a hip and a wrist, a bad wrist lock there. Okay. So fists are a good place to start. Just keep them nice and tight in here. My feet are tucked. Carl straightens the leg that he's going to bring under, nice. And then he turns his knee down, good. And now he starts to get to this position. So he's under the ankle. Let's turn this way around. Now if you're struggling to capture the knee line, because you'll push with the elbow so far, the detail is bringing your knee towards, yes, take it back a step. I'm watching some of you guys using the elbow, you just can't get the knee line, and then you start pushing with the hand. The minute you push with the hand, you're giving me the underhook. And now I'm in a good position, so we never push with the hand. Always lead with the elbow. The other thing I noticed was some of you guys obviously are in the half guard, so when you got to this position, you were turning your hips and winning the underhook, alright? But you were forgetting about this. Okay, so if you win the underhook and I have a cross face, I'm probably going to win that battle. It's fine winning the underhook, but you need inside control with this hand if you're winning the underhook. Alright? I prefer to bring the arm across. If we just go from the start again. So he gets my hands on the mat. Nice. He's framing. He's there. So when he turns, if you're going to, once my knee drops in, if you win the underhook, you need to be there. I prefer to play it safe and stay here, and then I can bring in the knee shield, and then I can kick up and win the underhook. Now, monitoring this hand, and you're back into your whole leech half guard stuff. So they work really well in combination. Anytime you're playing the elbow knee, don't get too fixated on one escape. You know, work them together. We have 3 escapes, obviously. Elbow knee, we have the Upa escape, and we have the mermaid escape. So you kind of want to be working all 3, whatever presents itself. Notice this though. When Carl goes through the sequence again, notice a good rule of thumb is if Carl can see my knee, starts to initiate it, and his own knee, he's at the right angle to hit this escape. Okay? But if I can not let him see my knee and his own knee by cross facing, and then I bring him this way. Now if you get this done on you, do not elbow knee to the side that you were going for. Does that make sense? Unless you're Mr. Fantastic or something. If I've got my shoulder driving into Carl here, it's very, very difficult for you to work the elbow knee on that side. So the cross face is perfect. It's a great tool, right? It can make you look the other way. If I know Carl wants to look at my knee and his knee to initiate the escape, I can make him look the other way with the cross face. But it only works in one direction. He can take the elbow knee on this side. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Carl's on top. That's why it's important that you can drill, you can play the elbow knee on both sides. So from our position, first thing I'm doing is starting position. I have Carl over my hips. I have inside position. It's different from this. Jiu-Jitsu is a battle of inches. Okay, I'm getting inside elbow position. He's over my hips. From there, I get his hands on the mat and I make my frames with fists. See that? Not hands. Okay. Then, if Carl's tucked his feet, I get inside position with my leg. Here. Okay. Now, from there, the turn onto my side. I like to get the ball of my foot on the mat. If I can put the ball of my foot on the mat, my knees facing the mat, or as close to the mat as I can. So just that. and then I bring it inside. And when I cover it, notice the way I can see my knee and Car's knee. It's a good position to be in. But Car's going to hug my head. Boom. So now from this position, for me to keep doing this move is very, very difficult. So all I'm thinking about is turning the other way. Now the turn's easy. I can easily turn my head, even with a crossface on current. Look, I can still turn my head. The problem is this arm. When I go to turn, it's trapped. I'll set up 1 second for it. So, all I'm going to do when I turn is I grab my hand and I bring it to the other side. So when I initiate the move, I'm leaning up here and Car's hugging my head. Now you get people that are just so heavy on you that you can't even pull this arm out. So I'm just going to connect my hands. Notice the way it's difficult for me to pull my right arm through and replace it with my left. So I can just bring my legs back and then I can do a slight bump and push my arm through. Does that make sense? Sit up again for it. So we end up here. I've got his hands on the mat. Starting to initiate the escape. Car sticks on the cross face. And now from there I get hand to hand. And as I look the other way and put my back on the mat, I just do that. And now from this position, we're back into it on the other side. So from there, all I need to do now is get onto my side at 45 degrees, bring my knee through, cover it, and then I'm pushing with my elbow and capturing the knee line. Okay? Now from there, I'm escaping from my right hip to my left hip, bringing my knee through, and we're back into some kind of guard. Does that make sense? Let's look at that again. So we'll just go from the side. Again, I've got him in the starting position. I get his hands on the mat. I make my frames. I get inside position with the leg that's going to initiate the elbow knee. And now from that position, I'm turning onto my side. I can see Carl's knee, I can see my knee, then he initiates the cross face. Once he sticks that on, I turn the other way, but I need to bring my arms through. So that might be a slight bump, 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 and I get my arms through. Okay? From there now, nothing's changed. I've made my wedges. Okay? All I'm thinking about now is Carl tucks his feet. So now it's this leg that's going to be initiating it. I can bring it down, tuck a feet ball. I can wipe it. And now from there, I'm turning onto my side at 45 degrees, knee up, get underneath it, elbow pushes, I capture, and then I'm turning from my right side to my left side, and as I do that, I've created space, and I'm framing here. Move my hip out, we're back into the game. Of course, this becomes a battle, because now Carl has two arms. He can cross-face me with either arm, and this is when you want to start initiating the Upa escape as well. Remember we looked at a variation where he's hugging your head, so let's take a look at that. This is just like Groundhog Day. So he gets his hands on the mat, I start to work the movement, Carl's hugging my head, I'm coming the other way, starting to work, he's hugging my head again, looking from this side, but as he hugs my head this time, instead of going for elbow knee, we talked about how I can lean back and reach. And now I'm looking over my shoulder. It might break away from the elbow knee, I just don't stick with it. If it just becomes a Groundhog Day, throw something else into the works, give them something else to think about. And let's see how that works. So, let's do that, guys.